Hey yogis, welcome to this morning's Vinyasa flow sequence. This class is ideal for beginners or anyone wishing to slow things down and get back to basics. Together we'll focus our awareness on our breath while slowly awakening our bodies, bringing life back into our limbs, leaving us feeling calm and centered. You won't need any props today, so roll out your mat, make yourself comfortable and we'll begin. So we're starting out today in tabletop. So take your time making your way over to hands and knees. So take a moment here just to check your alignment. We want to make sure that our wrists are in line under our shoulders and our knees are in line under our hips. We're going to flow through some cat-cows just to begin to wake up the back body, wake up the spine. So coming from tabletop, as you inhale, begin to drop the belly, loop the shoulder blades back and send the gaze forward. So you're sending your chest through your shoulders, looking forward. As you exhale, gently begin to float into cat. As you tuck your belly in, begin to round the spine, drop the gaze, look towards the knees. As you flow into cat. Inhale, flow back through cow, open forward, hips sending high. Exhale, rounding back to the cat, drop the gaze. Inhale, flow back through to cow, open forward, locking forward, drop the belly, lift the tailbone high. Exhale, rounding back through to cat, lower belly hugging in, dropping the gaze. Inhale, open back up. True to cow. And exhale, peeling back into cat, dropping the gaze, look towards the knees. And inhale, gently make your way back to tabletop, nice flat back. We're going to make our way into puppy pose from here. So keeping your knees as they are in line under your hips, we're going to begin to walk the hands forward and gently melt your chest down towards the mat. From here, you can rest your chin onto the mat, or if that's a little bit too tight on the neck, you can always rest your forehead down onto the mat. So bringing a nice stretch, a nice opening through the back of the body. You should feel this quite deeply into the shoulders, down through the spine and into the hips. Just breathing deeply into the back body, sinking the chest, melting the body into the mat. And inhale, gently begin to look up towards the hands as you begin to ground into the palms and walk the hands back through to tabletop. Flow through another couple of cat-cows as you inhale, drop the belly, loop the shoulder blades, look forward. Exhale, round the spine and drop the gaze. Peel the spine towards the ceiling. Inhale back into cow. Just bringing movements as we wake up the body, nice and gently, shaking off our night's sleep. Finding gentle movement through the muscles. And gently come back to neutral. From here, ground deeply, so spread the fingertips really wide of the left hand as we begin to inhale, reach the right fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, begin to draw the right hand under the left arm. So we're threading that right arm under, coming down into a pose we call thread the needle. So you're resting down onto the right shoulder. This might look quite strange to begin with, but it's a lovely opening for the shoulder. Resting down onto the right ear, and begin to extend the left arm long. Stretching, reaching the left fingertips forward. Trying to keep the hips nice and level. You feel a lovely opening through the armpit. Right down to the left side of the body. Keep your awareness on your breath as you send the inhale into the left lung. Feeling that expansion. And the opening through the body. And gently coming back out of the pose, bring the left hand in line with the face. Use that arm to press yourself up. As you inhale, reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling and gently plant the right hand down onto the mat. Moving into the opposite side, as you inhale, reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. Gently begin to thread the needle as you drop down onto the left shoulder. Walk the right fingertips long away from the body and sink down. Feeling that nice opening into the right armpit. Nice stretch into the shoulder. Breathing deeply, inhaling. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale and exhale. Last round, inhale and exhale. Bring your right hand back in line with your face, pressing up, reaching up through the left fingertips, looking up, and plant the left hand onto the mat. From here, making our way into a supported side plank. So maybe walk the body a little bit more forward on the mat. We're just going to begin to extend the left leg long away from the body. Begin to pivot on the back knee and plant the left foot towards the short edge of the mat. So you're still resting, you're still keeping that right knee down onto the mat so you're nice and supported. Come up onto the fingertips of the right hand, again for more support. You should feel a nice opening straight away into the ankle. As we inhale, we begin to reach the left fingertips towards the ceiling. If you feel you can always plant down onto the hand. Depends on the length of your arms really. So extend through the left arm, finding nice opening all through the side of the body. Then begin to reach the left fingertips up towards the front of the room. Lovely stretch right down from the side of the foot, up through the fingertips. Inhaling the breath into the left lung, filling it full of air. Exhale, release. Once again, inhale, really grounding into all 5 fingers of the right hand. And gently release, bring the left hand back down onto the mat. Pivot on the knee, come back through to tabletop. Flowing through another round of cat-cow. Inhale, open forward. Exhale, flow to cat. Once again, flow through to cow. Exhale, round into cat. And from here, back to normal tabletop, we're going to take the next side. So pivot on the knees. We're going to begin to extend the right foot towards the short edge of the mat. So you're keeping the sole of the right foot as if it's facing the short edge of the mat. Planting, grounding down onto the left hand as we inhale, reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Finding length through the body, really pressing down into the baby toe of the left foot. Inhale, begin to send the right fingertips towards the top of the room. Feeling that lovely opening, stretching, releasing the night's sleep, waking up the body. Stay for a couple more breaths. Really reaching through the fingers. Find more length, find more space with each breath. And exhale, gently release. Make your way back to tabletop and flow through another round of cat-cow. Walk the knees under the hips. Inhale, open forward. Exhale, round the spine, drop the gaze. Inhale, looking through to cow. And last one, exhale, round and into cat. Coming back to tabletop, walk the hands slightly more forward. We're going to make our way into our first downward facing dog of the day. So we're going to keep our knees deeply bent. Begin to tuck your toes under and hover your knees off the mat, keeping our knees deeply bent as we make our way into our downward facing dog. So pressing your hips towards the back of the room, keeping a nice flat back extending through the spine, pressing the weight of your body into the hips. Just noticing how this feels in your first down dog of the day, stretching it out, waking up the body. We're going to begin to wake up the backs of the legs. Let's begin to pedal out the legs by dropping the weight into the right heel. So begin to straighten the right leg, drop the weight. And then moving over to the left leg as you drop your weight into the left knee. And moving back to center. Drop the weight into the right and back into the left, just pedaling out the legs, bringing some movement through the body, up into the hips. And come back to stillness in our downward facing dog, keeping our knees deeply bent. We're going to begin to walk up towards the top of the mat. Bring one foot in front of the other. Slowly, we're walking up into a deep forward fold. So walk up towards the top of the mat, feet are hip-width distance apart. Maybe a little bit wider if it's more comfortable for you. And knees are as generously bent as they need to. So you want maybe that your chest is hanging on the legs. Again, not worried about keeping those legs straight. Let's support our upper body. Allow the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms to be completely weightless and just hang over the legs. Focus on the breath. And shake the head left and right. Make sure you're holding no tension at all in the neck. Maybe take hold of opposite elbow. Just to draw the weight closer towards the mat. Release the grip of the arms. Heel toe the feet together. Make our way up to halfway lift. Draw the hands up the shins. Begin to hinge forward from the hips as you open forward. Nice flat back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Roll the shoulder blades back and away from the ears. Just feel a lovely opening through the backs of the legs. As we lengthen through the spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Once again, draw the arms up the shins, plant the fingertips, roll the shoulder blades, lengthen forward, hinging forward. And then exhale, softly forward fold. Plant both hands onto the mat. We're going to step our right foot towards the back of the mat and drop down onto the right knee into low lunge. Take a moment here. Check where your knee is. Want to make sure that it's roughly in line over the ankle. Roll the shoulder blades back, look forward. You can have the back foot tucked, arm tucked, whatever feels more comfortable for you this morning. So roll the shoulder blades back, lengthen through the spine, open forward. Feel how the hips are this morning. They could be really tight, or maybe they feel like they want to go deeper. Just notice how the body is this morning. As we inhale, we're going to begin to extend through the arms, reach up and overhead, interlace the fingers, keeping the index finger and the thumb extended. Draw the arms back behind the ears. Inhale as you begin to look up, coming into a very, very slight back bend. Exhale, hinge forward, plant the hands, frame the front foot. Tuck the toes of the back foot under if they're not already. Lift the knee off the mat, step, walk or guide your right foot to meet the left and hang out back into your forward fold. Drop the body, drop the gaze. Maybe take hold of opposite elbow and rock the body side to side. Notice how the right feels from the left. Just noticing one side from the next. When you're ready, we're going to work into the opposite side. Drop the arms back down, plant the hands. We're going to step our left foot towards the back of the mat, drop down onto the left knee. Loop the shoulder blades back, look forward, tuck or untuck the toes. Lengthen through the spine. Take a breath. As we inhale, we begin to reach the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers, index finger and thumb are extended. Arms are back behind the ears. Inhale, reach up, slight back bend. And exhale, gently float the arms down. Frame the right foot like we did in the opposite side. Step, walk or guide the left leg to meet the right. Back into your forward fold. Just allowing it all to hang out, allowing it to become heavy. And from here, keeping as deep of a bend in the knees as you need to. I'm going to begin to work and open the shoulders a little bit more. So bring the arms back behind the sacrum. Interlace the fingers, hugging them into the lower back. Begin to draw the arms away from the lower back. Now, you might not be able to draw the arms at all. That's perfectly fine. Work on opening the shoulders. But if you can, begin to draw the arms away from the lower back. Maybe the knuckles press up towards the ceiling, maybe towards the back of the room. Just finding a lovely opening into the chest, into the shoulders, stretching through the arms. It's such a lovely pose to wake up the whole body. We're stretching, releasing it all out, letting go of any tension through the body, any stiffness, anything that won't serve us for the day ahead. Take another breath. Exhale, bring the arms back towards the lower back. Release the hands down, plant them onto the mat. Step back into a downward facing dog. So step the right foot, then the left foot back into our down dog. Maybe pedal out the legs, feeling how the body has begun to wake up. Just noticing the hips, the backs of the legs. I want to flow through Vinyasa. Now take it nice and gentle. Take your time, flow with me. Begin to look up towards the top of the mat. We're going to float up towards plank pose. We're going to come straight down once we're there into low plank. So once you're ready, inhale, begin to flow. Send the body forward into plank. So send your shoulders in line over your wrists, hugging your lower belly in. Begin to drop down onto the knees. Roll your shoulder blades back so your elbow creases face towards the front of the room. Very slowly, mindfully, with awareness, begin to lower down chin, chest, then belly. Coming up into Cobra, inhale. So elbows are hugged deeply into the body. As you inhale, tuck the pelvis under. Begin to lift chin and chest away from the mat. Exhale, gently lower. We'll do that once again just to build some strength in the lower back. Inhale, tilt the pelvis. Beginning to lift chin and chest away from the mat. Elbows are hugging in. Lengthen through the spine, so we're not looking forward. We're lengthening through the spine. Gently lower. Making sure the hands are in line with the shoulders. Press yourself back up through tabletop. Tuck the toes. Coming back up into our downward facing dog. Good job, well done. Our first Vinyasa of the day. So send the hips back towards the back of the room. Drop the weight into one heel at a time. Shake it out, shaking it off. And from here, we're just going to drop down onto the knees. Bring the big toes to touch and begin to send your hips back towards the heels and rest for a moment down into child's pose. So the hips are resting towards the heels. The forearms are resting on the mat. And your forehead softened and resting down. Just take a moment to connect with your breath. Notice how the body is beginning to warm up and wake up. We're feeling a little bit more alive and refreshed. Last breath. And begin to look up towards the top of the mat. You begin to come up high up onto the fingertips as if you're trying to claw into the mat. So your forearms lift away from the mat and begin to walk the fingertips a little bit further forward. Maybe drop the forehead back towards the mat. Don't worry too much if you can't quite reach. We're walking the fingertips nice and forward on the mat, keeping our awareness on our hips as we peel them back towards our heels. Don't worry if your hips are nowhere near your heels and your forehead is nowhere near the mat. We're just keeping that awareness, that intention. Feeling that lovely lift that rise through the arms into the armpits, down to the sides of the body as we lengthen and open up. Begin to look back up towards the top of the mat and walk the fingertips over towards the right. Walk the arms over to the right side of the body so your chest rests onto the right leg. And begin to soften down, soften the head towards the mat. We're staying high up onto the fingertips. So we're still clawing into the mat, feeling an even deeper opening through the left side of the body. And then gently begin to walk the fingertips back to center, making your way over towards the left side of the room. And begin to soften down once you're there, staying high up on the fingers, clawing into the mat. Feeling that lift through the right side of the body as you keep your right hip really heavy. Breathing deep into the right lung, finding more space, more expansion with each breath, and soften and release with each exhale. And gently begin to walk back to center. From here, we're going to make our way back up to tabletop just briefly. So coming back into tabletop, hips in line, over the knees, and begin to flip the right fingertips. They're facing towards the right knee. Beginning to stretch deep into the wrist, maybe bend a little bit into the right elbow. Maybe beginning to open up that wrist, working deep into the joint. Stay with your breath. It's a really deep opening, but lovely to do in the morning to release any stiffness in the joints, the muscles, or connective tissues. It's also a great pose to do during the day if you spend a lot of your time at a keyboard. It'd be nice to release the wrists. Flip the right palm back to center and then move into the left. So flipping as we did on the other side, the left fingertips to face towards the knee. Slight bend in the elbow so we're not locking out our joints, but we're working into the muscles, supporting our joints with each movement. And don't worry too much if your fingertips don't face exactly towards the knee. Even just slightly to the side, we're still working into opening the joint, opening the wrist. Breathing into the opening, into that nice stretch, that nice release. And then gently release. From here, we want to work into both wrists. So flip the right and flip the left. We're going to begin to sit our hips back towards our heels. So very, very gently, as you begin to send your hips back, we begin to peel the heel of the hand first away from the mat, then the palm of the hand, and very lastly through the fingers. You should be feeling an absolutely wonderful stretch through the hands. Allow them to rest up on top of the legs and resting with the palms facing towards the sky. Shoulders rest down. Just begin to circle the wrists towards the right, towards the left. And we're just going to close our practice. Just sitting on our heels, gently close the eyes. You can always come to a cross-legged seat or lying down if it's more comfortable for you. Just wherever you feel comfortable. Maybe keep the eyes closed or keep the eyes open as it is the morning. You don't want to fall back asleep. Gently roll the shoulder blades away from the ears. Rest the hands down onto the lap. Just going to take 3 deep breaths as we close our practice. Inhaling deep into the belly and exhaling full. Inhaling deep and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Gently bring your hands in front of the heart center. Draw up your head towards your hands. And thank yourself for making it to your class, for staying present throughout. If you haven't done so already, please do remember to subscribe to my channel for more classes every week. I do really appreciate the support. Namaste.